It is day 4 of Vlogmas. It is a Wednesday, December the 4th, and today's a doozy, guys. So today I heard some nonsense and my heart went out for this family who had a very different experience than they could have had they listened to advice that you should always book early. So this family, they were so sweet and so kind. They were told by a family member who comes to Hawaii a lot that you don't need to book early, you don't need to book ahead, don't listen to anybody, don't stress over tours and activities, don't research anything, just wait till you get there and play it by ear. Now, this family, it is their first time to the islands, their first time to Oahu, their first time to Honolulu, and they are a family of 8. And let me tell you why this is a bad idea. And this is a hill I will die on. Always, always, always research your options, book ahead, everything before you get here. Now, let me tell you why. This weekend is particularly important because it is Vlogmas. You guys are getting these vlogs as I go through them. So today is Wednesday, December the 4th. There are 2 major events that are happening this weekend, which impact a lot of the tours and activities if you waited till you got here to book. Number 1, on December 7th is the anniversary for Pearl Harbor. And because of that, there are a lot more visitors during this weekend, specifically here for that event. Commercial tours are also not running on that weekend, are not running on that day. So the tours before and after, commercial tours specifically, are booking up. And if you're a family of 8, getting the first choice tour company that you want on the first choice day that you want last minute is incredibly tricky. Second, this weekend is the Honolulu Marathon. The Honolulu Marathon brings in over 30,000 runners with their friends and family, all coming here for the race. Now, there's multiple events over the weekend. There is the 10K, there's the mile race, there's the marathon race. There's so many different events. And with that, those people who are coming here for the marathon, they didn't just decide last week to go. They've been planning for the marathon for months. They know they're coming to the islands. They've booked a lot of things in advance. And my heart felt for this family because they are a family of 8. A lot of the tours that they wanted to do were not available because they're such a large group and the times that they had available were limited. And in addition to that, they were stuck doing tours and I hate to say it that way, but they were stuck doing their second choice, third choice, fourth choice tours and activities on days that they necessarily didn't want because they were such a large group and they wanted to make sure they went on the tours together instead of being split up. So this is another reason, please, 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 this is a hill I will die on. Always, always, always plan ahead. Now, as I talked more with this family, I asked a few more questions like, oh, well, when did this person come to the islands? Like the person that's giving you this advice to not book early, because they were obviously visibly upset. Had they known how tricky it would have been to get tours, activities, set up reservations for the restaurants that they had wanted to go to, they would have done all this in advance. But because they were told that you don't need to even plan, don't even need to worry about it, they followed that advice. And the family, like, the amount of money it probably cost them to come to the islands for 8 people with kids, like hotel stays, like food, expenses, time off of work, and their first time here, and they didn't get to do a lot of the things they had wanted to do. And of course they made the most of it. There's other things you can do as well, but all of this could have been avoided had they just gone with their instinct of, hey, you know what? Maybe we should just book this stuff early. There's no benefit to waiting. Like, we know we want to do XYZ. We know we want to do this Jurassic Valley tour. We know we want to do this island tour. We know we want to do these things. So why don't we just book it now? My heart, oh gosh. As I started talking to them, they told me, and this is where I was just like, oh God. They told me that the family member that told them that they don't need to book early, they were actually just a couple. So 2 people. 2 people getting into a super busy restaurant is a lot easier than 8 people getting into a busy restaurant. And the main reason for this is if you're just two people and you're at a busy restaurant and you're two adults, you can almost always try to sit at the bar. But if you're a family of 8 with kids, it's a lot harder to do so, and you obviously can't sit at the bar. And the next thing, and this probably was where I was just like, oh, do you need a Mai Tai? That person who said they'd been to Hawaii so many times, they had actually not been to Oahu. They had actually been to Hawaii multiple times. Yes, that's true. But the island they went to was Kauai. What? Ah! The more and more I spoke with them, the more I realized that not only was it a smaller group that gave them this advice, a party of 2, they went to a different island, Kauai, had never been to Oahu. They mentioned they'd also been to Maui as well, but they'd never been to Oahu. So if you've been to the other islands, you know that getting into restaurants on other islands is a lot easier oftentimes in summer season than it is on Oahu. And the biggest kicker of all this person who gave them the advice, they typically came to Hawaii in the shoulder season. So February, our rainiest time of year, or they would come during October just before it gets busy for the winter season. So the family, thinking that it'd be super easy to get in, tours and activities, to get into restaurants they wanted, to get that ocean view, that like the best seats or whatnot for restaurants or whatever, they followed that advice and they get here and it's a completely different experience. And I just, that's so tough. And then as I was speaking with them and them realizing that, oh, wait, the Pearl Harbor anniversary, and there's also the Honolulu Marathon, like all these different events. That's why it's so busy here. That's why with over 30,000 runners plus all their friends and family, like all of these factors, that's another reason to take into account. And this is just another reason why you should always, 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 always research and book ahead, no matter what anybody tells you. Specifically, if you're coming to Oahu, and specifically try to find out a good calendar of events that will tell you if there's any upcoming events like the Honolulu Marathon, for example, or any festivals, events, anything that you should know in advance. For example, the Merry Monarch Festival on the Big Island, that is the best way to explain it, it's the Olympics of hula. And if you are on the island during that time, like it's going to be so hard to get anything just because it's so busy for that specific event. So similarly, right now it's so busy for the Honolulu Marathon. Getting tours and activities that you might want or restaurants, it's just going to be harder because there's more people on the island, specifically more people in Waikiki, and that's typically where most people will stay when they come to Oahu. Every island is different. Your experience, whether you're staying on a resort on Kauai or a resort on Maui versus on Oahu, is going to be vastly different. As somebody who lives on Oahu, when I do a staycation over to Maui, I absolutely love it, or to Big Island or to Kauai. The other islands are way less crowded, a lot less traffic, and my personal favorite is Maui. I have friends who live over on Maui, so whenever I can, I try to go to Maui maybe once a month or once every other month. And it's just so much easier. Like, you can go to a restaurant, you can just do more things because there's a lot less people. And just don't let this happen to you. Plan ahead, book ahead, or at least research what you want to do. Do not wait till you're actually on island to start making decisions over what things you do here.
On this one-page planner, you have everything that you need, where you can jot down your details for your hotel, rental car, tours and activities, things that you want to do, and a general itinerary. You can also head to yestohawaii.com for even more Hawaii content, places to eat, where to stay, and things to do. And if you'd like some done-for-you itineraries, check out the links in the description box below for some itineraries I've made just for you guys.